sinking like stones, all that we fall.
Apocalypse means to destroy this world.
We live in a beautiful world.
Let's go to war.
Everything they've built will fall!
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So they dropped new footage from X-Men Apocalypse. We get a bunch of Psylocke. They've been using Olivia Munn to market the movie, so let's break it down. The coolest thing is that we see her in full comic book costume. Of all the characters in the movie, she's probably the closest to her comic book depiction. Olivia Munn said that Psylocke gets to have a lot of fun in the movie. And everyone does get their powers jacked up, at least Apocalypse's 4 horsemen. If you watch the 90s cartoon, Apocalypse does put his horsemen through a special machine to give them powers. He twists them to his will. This is going to be a little bit more practical. It'll probably have something to do with his celestial technology. I know Days of Future Past was a time travel movie, but because Apocalypse is one of the first mutants, obviously they're going to pay homage to his history. So a lot of that will be dealt with in flashbacks. We'll probably get to see the pyramid, him find the ancient ship, him get his celestial armor. I talked a little bit about his origin story in the last trailer video that I posted, so I'll put a link in the description. But I'm so happy that they added things like Psylocke's Psy Blades. That was one of the big questions that Olivia Munn answered early on. Will Psylocke get her psionic blades? And yes, they have been teasing a Dark Phoenix storyline with Sophie Turner's character at a certain point. I don't know how soon they're going to get there. There's going to be one more X-Men film that Bryan Singer is going to work on. We don't know what that's going to be yet. It'll depend on where they leave things at the end of this film. But that's why they've introduced new Jean Grey, new Cyclops, new Storm. The funny thing that she said about new Cyclops is that Scott Summers, the young Scott Summers, kind of a douchebag. And it's just the latest in a line of people calling Scott Summers a douchebag. He's one of the most maligned characters in X-Men comics. Whether you love him or hate him, most people hate him. There have been a couple good Cyclops moments. They have this really weird thing going on with this character in the comics now. I won't spoil it, but if you're a big fan of X-Men, they've rebooted the comics since Secret Wars. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of Inhuman related things going on. All these apocalyptic world-ending visions probably have something to do with Jean Grey, but I'm expecting a little bit of it to go down in the movie just because people's powers are going to be off the scale. Magneto, for instance, you see this scene here where he's twisting all this metal. He's just going crazy. And it looks like in the time since they posted the last trailer, they polished the special effects. There's so many special effects in this film. Like even Apocalypse's face looks different. His voice sounds different from the last trailer. Like when you're done with this, just loop the trailer part, rewatch the trailer, then go back and watch the last trailer video I posted. You'll hear Apocalypse's voice sounds different. It's still Oscar Isaac, but I think that they changed his voice a little. They did the exact same thing with Bane during Dark Knight Rises. I guess Tom Hardy did a version of the Bane voice when they were recording the movie, and then later Christopher Nolan decided he didn't like it, so they brought him in and they did a completely different voice. We get some Angel, Nightcrawler, Thunderdome action, and they have been talking about Evan Peters' character, about the Quicksilver character. I know there's a little confusion between Marvel's Quicksilver and Fox's Quicksilver. This version of Quicksilver will be Magneto's son. They teased it during Days of Future Past. Hey, my mom used to go out with a guy that could control metal. I don't know how big of a plot point it's going to be, but there's going to be a lot more Quicksilver in this film. He was one of the most fun parts of Days of Future Past, so I'm really pumped about that. I do like the new X-Men armor. The new Storm looks amazing. She's going to be so much fun. Not really sure about Magneto's armor. I'm curious to see if Apocalypse helps adapt celestial armor for him when he becomes a horseman. And here it looks like Apocalypse is turning Mystique into an afternoon snack. Now, I know this is a big change from the comics because Mystique has always been a servant of Apocalypse, so I guess I'm okay with them breaking from comic book canon. I think they just want her at odds with Magneto, and they wanted Magneto to be one of the Horsemen, so they didn't want them on the same team. We can talk about all the big changes the movie made to the comics whenever it drops. But let me know what you think about the idea of a future Dark Phoenix storyline. Obviously, that's a saga that would take place over a number of films. I think the idea is that they're transitioning from older actors to these new actors, so they're trying to introduce them one at a time. And because we have X-Force, New Mutants, Deadpool now, they're weaving this larger universe. I'm really interested to see if they try to use Psylocke in the other films, but people actually did ask Olivia Munn, do you want to be in the X-Force film? Do you want to be in a movie with Deadpool? Of course, she said the thing that you would expect all actors to say, like everybody thinks their character is the most important character. She's like, I want to do a Psylocke solo film. I'll say right now, if Marvel hasn't done a Black Widow solo film by now, there's no way that Fox is going to do a Psylocke solo film. They're too busy ramping up Deadpool, trying to get X-Force off the ground. I think eventually we'll see a solo X-Men female-led film. Most of the best Marvel female characters are part of the X-Men universe, so Fox has access to all those people. That's why they originally went after Jennifer Lawrence for Mystique. But let me know in the comments, what's your guys' favorite Super Bowl trailer so far? There's still a couple that I haven't got to yet. There's a new Deadpool one, there's a Ninja Turtles one. I might do the Ninja Turtles one too, because that actually looks pretty cool. So be sure to subscribe to get everything. And yes, there is some new Batman v Superman, but it's not an official trailer, so we'll see. I'll have to take a look. They might drop some new stuff later tonight. Just in case you guys haven't seen it, you can click here for my Captain America Civil War Super Bowl trailer, and you can click here for my Deadpool vs. Wolverine video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody, let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.